What if I told you the 1970s Southern rock scene was more than just a few iconic hits? It was a battleground of raw talent where 10 guitarists crafted a sound that fused blues, country, and jazz into pure magic. From slide solos that could pierce your soul to thumb-picking that told stories of struggle, these unsung heroes redefined rock. We'll cover their signature styles, one standout solo each, and a personal moment that defined their sound. Stick around to hear the top 10 Southern rock guitarists of the 1970s. What if I told you a guitarist from Georgia could blend blues and gospel in a way that feels timeless? Meet Larry Howard of Grinder Switch, kicking off our list at number 10. He was a key force when the band formed in South Georgia in 1973, releasing standout albums like Honest to Goodness, making tracks, and pulling together on Capricorn Records. Howard prized the natural wood and steel tone of his guitars, which gave his blues gospel playing a warm acoustic feel. Southern rock often roared with grit and power, but Howard wrestled with something deeper. He aimed to infuse spiritual meaning into those rugged blues riffs, even when some fans craved just volume and speed. Not everyone understood it at the time, but he pushed forward, crafting a sound that was uniquely his. Imagine him on stage, his guitar resonating with raw emotion, almost like a sermon in every note. Howard stayed with Grinder Switch until 1980, shaping their early work. Tracks like Pickin' the Blues highlight his knack for merging styles. He underwent a profound spiritual conversion during a serious operation, an experience he later channeled into gospel blues songs like I Found Out. He died in 2017, leaving a legacy recognized by the Georgia Music Hall of Fame for pioneering contemporary gospel blues. Let's keep moving up the ranks to explore another talent who turned their instrument into something truly personal. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That's Barry Bailey of Atlanta Rhythm Section, landing at number 9. He was ARS's lead guitarist from the band's start in 1970 until his retirement in 2006, and was also a respected session player who worked with acts like Roy Orbison's backing group, the Candymen, Frankie Miller, and Johnny Cash. His focus was always on serving the song, crafting melodies that lingered long after the music stopped. Blending smooth jazz influences with the raw edge of rock was a delicate balance. Tip too far one way and the sound could lose its punch. But Bailey mastered it, making every note matter. Picture him with his 1969 Les Paul Deluxe Gold Top, nicknamed Reb, notable for its mini humbucker pickups and one-piece mahogany body. Part of what gave his solos that warm melodic tone in tracks like the outro of So Into You. Each phrase feels personal, almost like a quiet conversation. After an MS diagnosis in 2005, Bailey stepped away from the road, an act many fans saw as a choice to care for family over career. Decatur, Georgia even honored him with Barry Bailey Day on June 19, 2009. That restraint, playing for the song, left a lasting mark on 1970s radio. Let's move up the list to uncover another guitarist whose style added a unique layer to this legendary era. Now, what if a guitarist could wield harmony like a weapon in the heart of Southern rock? That's Billy Jones of the Outlaws, taking the number 8 spot. Hailing from Tampa, Florida, where the band formed in 1972 and dropped their debut in 1975, Jones was a cornerstone of what fans dubbed the Florida Guitar Army. His magic shone on albums like Hurry Sundown, adding a distinct energy that made the band stand out in a packed scene. Blending country-style harmonies with rock's raw power was no easy feat for Jones. He had to match the fierce intensity of his bandmates while staking out his own sonic territory. Each track tested his ability to fuse smooth, twangy notes with a harder edge, and he tackled that challenge without faltering. His work became a vital piece of the Outlaws' identity. Picture his lead guitar on the right channel in Green Grass and High Tides, trading parts that help define the band's triple guitar attack. Listen for how his parts provide counter melody and shimmering harmony, small moves that lift those long guitar jams. He shaped a 3-album run that anchored the band's early legacy. Stick around to hear about another talent whose contributions often flew under the radar, but shaped iconic sounds. Could a guitarist shape some of southern rock's biggest hits without grabbing the headlines? Meet Les Dudek, coming in at number 7. This guy left a massive mark with his session work, especially for the Allman Brothers Band. He played critical harmonies and arrangements on tracks like Ramblin' Man and contributed to Jessica, but much of his input went uncredited. He wasn't formally given co-writing credit or paid royalties for Jessica. His talent also shone with Boss Skaggs during a 5-year touring stint starting in 1973 on albums like Silk Degrees, and with the Steve Miller Band on Fly Like an Eagle and Book of Dreams. Being the go-to player wasn't a simple gig for Dudek. He constantly adapted to different bands and styles, often fitting himself into a record where the song needed support rather than spotlight. Those harmonic layers, subtle touches that tie a track together, rarely got the attention they deserved, yet his work added depth that made classics stand out. Picture his guitar weaving through Ramblin' Man, building a wall of electric sound with intricate parts. Fun fact, his 1976 self-titled solo debut was produced by Boss Skaggs, and he co-wrote songs with Stevie Nicks, showing he could create as well as play. His uncredited efforts still echo in southern rock's core. Let's keep climbing the list to spotlight another fierce talent who commanded the stage with raw energy. Willie Thomasson of the Outlaws claims the number 6 spot. He co-founded the band in 1972, shaping their iconic multi-guitar sound. Thomasson, nicknamed The Flame, favored a Fender Stratocaster for a quasi-country tone and blistering speed. His style mixed raw energy with southern roots, turning every track into a ride through Florida's back roads. Leading this triple guitar attack was no easy task. Thomasson had to carve out his own space while keeping the band's sound cohesive. On each song, he balanced sharp, cutting leads with the other guitars, making sure the mix stayed tight. That kind of control demanded skill and grit, especially under the pressure to churn out hits during their peak years. Picture his left channel intro on Green Grass and High Tides, burning with an intensity that earned him his nickname. You can feel the heat in every note. Fun fact, Ronnie Van Zant personally urged the record label to sign them in 1975, a reminder of how tightly knit the southern rock community was. He also co-wrote hits like There Goes Another Love Song, showing his role extended beyond lead breaks. Here's why he mattered. He was a general, crafting a country rock blend that became a southern rock cornerstone. Stick around now for another innovator whose unique style left a deep mark. That's Toy Caldwell of the Marshall Tucker Band, securing the number 5 spot. After being wounded in Vietnam in 1968, Caldwell returned home and by 1972 had formed what became the Marshall Tucker Band. His thumb-picking style set him apart, earning him the title Fastest Thumb in the South. Instead of a flat pick, he used his thumb to pluck strings, crafting a warm, rolling tone that became the band's signature. His path wasn't easy, though. Wounded in 1968 and determined to make music if he lived, Caldwell's survival story became central to the band's identity. He channeled that pain into every riff, playing with a stubborn strength that resonated deeply. It wasn't just talent, it was pure heart driving each note. Picture his Norland-era Gibson Les Paul guitar on Can't You See, thumb-picking lines that ooze southern soul. Each note tells a tale of grit. He also played pedal steel, adding a country depth, and wrote core songs like Heard It in a Love Song and Take the Highway as the band's main songwriter. Here's why he stands out. His resilience turned struggle into a pioneering sound that defined the Marshall Tucker Band. Up next, let's explore another talent whose iconic work became a symbol of the era. Alan Collins of Lynyrd Skynyrd lands at number 4. As a co-founder, he shaped the band's fierce triple guitar sound that roared through the 1970s. He also co-wrote Freebird, a track that became a rock cornerstone. His talent for crafting solos made him stand out. always ensuring each note fit the song like a puzzle piece. After surviving the tragic 1977 plane crash, Collins faced immense loss and injuries that could have stopped him. Yet he pushed forward, refusing to let the music die, even through pain and grief. His grit to keep creating after such darkness shows the unstoppable fire in his soul. Imagine that Freebird solo, a masterpiece of precision. The song's extended outro was years in the making. Collins had been building the chord progression for about 2 years before Van Zant's melody arrived. Those long, through-composed solos started as a practical way to let Ronnie catch his breath during marathon club shows, then became a defining artistic feature. Freebird is considered one of rock's greatest solos, which helped cement Collins' reputation for carefully composed, collective guitar work, and earned a Grammy Hall of Fame induction. Here's why he matters. His disciplined artistry turned solos into timeless structures, not just flair. Stay tuned for another powerhouse whose playing carried a raw and soulful edge. What if I told you a guitarist's slide could echo the raw heart of southern rock? That's Gary Rosington of Lynyrd Skynyrd taking the number 3 spot. As a co-founder, he penned hits like Sweet Home Alabama and fueled the band's iconic triple guitar attack. His work on tracks like Simple Man gave their music a powerful, lasting core. Rosington's smooth style added soul, making every riff feel essential. After the devastating 1977 plane crash, his life shattered. With broken arms, a broken leg, and severe internal injuries, recovery seemed impossible. Rosington later described a vivid personal experience while trapped after the crash, an account he said helped him survive physically and emotionally. Yet he pressed on, showing a strength that went far beyond the stage. Picture his Freebird slide, crafted with a Coricidin bottle and a tuning trick, placing a screwdriver under the nut and tuning one of the strings down. It's pure emotion in sound. His Les Paul-driven tone was warm and melodic, ideal for the mix of pretty, understated lines and harsher, bluesy riffs. Fun fact, in 1980, he co-founded the Rosington Collins Band, keeping Skynyrd's spirit alive. Here's why he stands tall. His unpretentious, soulful playing captures freedom and resilience in every note. Stick around to meet another master whose melodies painted a vivid musical landscape. That's Dicky Betts of the Alman Brothers Band, claiming the number 2 spot. After the heartbreaking loss of Dwayne Alman in 1971 and Barry Oakley in 1972, Betts stepped into the lead role. He wrote and sang Ramblin' Man, the band's only top 10 hit, and his work on songs like Revival and instrumentals like In Memory of Elizabeth Reed kept their spirit alive through dark days. Taking on that responsibility after such tragedy wasn't simple. Betts had to prove his melodies could carry the band forward, while fans and critics watched every move. The pressure to preserve their legacy weighed heavy, but he rose to it, blending jazz, country, and blues into a sound that felt new yet familiar. Picture his soaring leads on Jessica, a bright acoustic idea inspired by his daughter's playful energy after Dwayne's death. Critics said he thought like a jazz improviser. His phrasing was structured and melodic, often using inventive groupings that opened space for the rhythm section. Fun fact, Betts was ranked 58th on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 greatest guitarists. Here's why he's unforgettable. His lyrical genius wove dual guitar harmonies into a lasting southern rock tapestry. Now, let's discover a talent whose raw power set the standard for an entire genre. Dwayne Alman of the Alman Brothers Band claims the number 1 spot. He co-founded the band and redefined southern rock with his open-tuned slide guitar in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Using a glass Coricidin bottle, he crafted a smooth, glassy tone. His pick hand muting brought sharp precision to every note, making the slide a true melodic force. His life was cut short at just 24 in 1971, leaving an aching void. Before that, he was in demand on sessions with King Curtis, Wilson Pickett, Aretha Franklin, and Boss Skaggs, adding his unique sound to their work. Visualize his glassy attack on Layla with Eric Clapton, a telepathic duet of pure harmony. Producer Tom Dowd said their playing was so telepathic that Dwayne even played tones by sliding beyond the fretboard. Notes that aren't on the instrument. Fun fact, Rolling Stone ranked Dwayne Alman number 2 on its list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time for his blues rock innovation. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995, and the album Eat a Peach was dedicated to his memory. Here's why he's unmatched. His soaring spirit, dubbed Skydog by fans, still cuts through time, inspiring players today. As we wrap up, let's reflect on how these 10 masters shaped Southern rock by blending blues, country, and jazz. From Larry Howard's soulful gospel to Dwayne Alman's piercing slide, their innovations still echo on radio and streaming, touching millions today. If one of these stories made you hear a solo differently, tell us which in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more music history like this.